Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on 1010 KSIR and on the World Wide Web at KSIR.com. This Sunset Baseball Field in Brush, it's a Patriot League clash as the visiting Estes Park Bobcats take on the Brush Bee Diggers in a pleasant good morning, everyone. I'm John Beltran. Let's bring you the Estes Park starting lineup. Batting first is the second baseman, Bailey Flores. The catcher, John Pass, hits second. First baseman, or check that pitcher, Aaron Tully bats third. The cleanup hitter is the left fielder, Zach Eitzen. In right field, Carson Jones hits fifth. John Youngbluth, the shortstop, bats sixth. Center fielder Ben Cerrone will be hitting seventh. Cam Bogener, the third baseman, bats eighth. And Hunter Johnson, the first baseman, will bat ninth. For the Bee Diggers defensively, Ken Garcia's at first. Gregory Maris at second. The third baseman is Mitch Tormolen. Over at short is Colby Waitert. Around the outfield, Shea Hansen at left. Christian Valles in center. Jesus Cardenas in right. Tyler Monday gets the start behind the plate, and Ryan Hirschfeld, who's been outstanding in his last two starts, is on the hill. In fact, he went the distance 8 days ago in beating Lions 6-2, tossing a four-hitter, throwing 93 pitches. And then on Tuesday against University on 3 days rest, went the distance on a six-hitter in a 2-1 win as he threw 100 pitches. So it's been a very good season so far for the freshman right-hander. The opening pitch is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance, locally in Fort Morgan and Brush, offering home, health, auto, farm, business, and workers' compensation insurance. That's Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Stepping in is Bailey Flores against the right-hander Hirschfeld. Estes Park dressed in their road purples with the white pants, Bee Diggers in all gray. And the changeup is strike. Just below belt level, it's 0-1. Estes Park has won 2 league games. We've got them at 2-2 in league play victories over Berthoud and Weld Central. Fouled off to the right on another changeup. Bee Diggers are 3-2 in Patriot League play, 6-6 overall. And I know Ryan thinks it's a big week for the Bee Diggers to make a little run here. They could beat Meade on Tuesday, Platte Valley on Thursday. The wind and the 0-2 pitch. And the breaking ball is blocked by Monday. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It'll be overcast the entire game. Temperatures in the upper 40s with very little wind, which is a good thing. Wind and 1-2. And that fastball's upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting second baseman Bailey Flores for Estes Park to lead off this game. Monday lays down the sign. And the 2-2, and that fastball is upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Bee Diggers have 7 regular season games, and they're in a position they could win all these games because they've already gotten through 2 of the tougher teams in Eaton and University, splitting those 2. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the right on that changeup. Count remains at 3-2. As the Bee Diggers go home, away, home, away. It's pretty much that type of schedule now coming up. Home last Tuesday, away on Thursday, home today, on the road on Tuesday against Meade, home on Thursday against Platte Valley. Payoff pitch swung on and fouled off of Monday. It remains at 3-2. Again, we went with the changeup. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Bailey Flores, the right-handed hitting second baseman. Yeah, this Estes Park team has come to play this year. The pitch swung on and fouled back, and Flores is doing exactly what a leadoff hitter needs to do, extending the pitch count. In fact, let's see if we can look back at that. If you look back at the 2-1 game, Hirschfeld threw just 7 pitches in the opening inning. In the victory over University, this is the 9th pitch to the opening hitter, and the curveball is inside. And it's a 9-pitch walk to Bailey Flores. Here is John Pass, the catcher, hitting from the right side. Estes Park is settled in with a very nice crowd here off to the right, considering they've got a long trip on a cool day. Open stance for Pass. The pitch squaring to bunt, lays it up the third base side. It'll be fielded by Tormolen, sets, throws to first, and that is in time to retire John Pass. The sacrifice goes 5-3. And here is Aaron Tully. Tully, the opposing pitcher, hitting for the left side. As Estes Park has an early threat here. In Brush, the stretch by Hirschfeld. And the offering. Swung on and grounded up the middle. The shortstop, Waylard, has got it on the Sunday hop. Throws to first. And there's two down as Tully got up the line. Advancing to third is Flores. You know, it's amazing when you watch Hirschfeld pitch. He had that 9-pitch sequence to Bailey Flores, and then he throws two pitches, one to Pass, one to Tully, and retires them both. And here's Zach Eitzen, the cleanup hitter, from the right side. The offering, and that changeup is a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. And that's what Hirschfeld will do. Economize pitches, which is why he can go the distance. The wine in the 0-1, and that is just outside. Brought the heat on that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Zach Eitz in the pitch. And that is right there. Another changeup on the outside corner at the knees. It's 1-2. With Carson Jones on deck. A little bit of an open stance for Eitz in the pitch. And the breaking ball bounces in, blocked by Tyler Monday. And the count is level at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, a man at third. Bailey Flores, who walked to lead off the game. And the offering by Hirschfeld. Swung on in line down the left field line, but that is foul. Hirschfeld hung a changeup. Eitzen was all over it, but fortunately for the Bee Diggers, well out in front. Yeah, he wants to throw the pitch where he did for that strike 2 call, and that was low and away. That one was up and in, and Eitzen turned on that one. But let's see if Hirschfeld can make the correction. 2-2. Breaking ball bounces in, blocked by Monday. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Zach Eitzen. And the pitching is setting up very nicely for the Bee Diggers this week. You get Hirschfeld through this game, more than likely Ken Garcia on Tuesday, and then Thursday they'll throw Gregory Maris against Platte Valley. That's just my guess. And that changeup is upstairs. Another walk uncharacteristically issued by Hirschfeld in the inning. Carson Jones, the right fielder from the right side, will hit with runners at the corners and 2 down. A rather extensive inning for Hirschfeld, but he is not allowed to run. The stretch, Monday will set up towards the outside, and that's a fastball for a strike on the outer half just above the knees. It's 0-1. The Bee Diggers this year have been pretty solid defensively. Waylerton Maris up the middle. Swung on and lifted into left center field. Long run for Valles to his right. He's under it, and Christian Valles makes the one-handed catch, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. It is Estes Park nothing. The Bee Diggers are coming to bat on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back from Sunset Baseball Field in Brush as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Estes Park did not score in the top half. The Bee Diggers starting lineups brought to you by T.O. Charlie's for a great used car truck. If you don't see what you want on the lot, they'll find it for you at T.O. Charlie's, 700 West Platte in Fort Morgan. Batting first for the Bee Diggers is the second baseman, Gregory Mares. The second hitter in this Bee Digger lineup is the right fielder, Jesus Cardenas. Batting third is the center fielder, Christian Valles. The cleanup hitter is the left fielder, Shea Hansen. Batting fifth, the shortstop, Colby Waitert. Mitch Tormolen is the sixth hitter playing at third base. Ken Garcia, the first baseman, bats seventh. The DH, Daniel Soto, hits eighth. And Tyler Monday, the catcher, will bat ninth against right-hander Aaron Tully. The Bee Diggers have had a major issue in recent games, stranding runners. They stranded 12 last Saturday in a 6-4 loss to Strasburg, and then 10 on Tuesday in a 2-1 loss to University, and 7 on Thursday in that loss to Eaton, and those 7 came over the first 6 innings. In fact, the Bee Diggers in that game were not retired in order in the first 4 innings, but they could not take advantage of opportunities in that game. Here comes Gregory Mares to the plate. The Bay Diggers only had 3 hits against Eaton, but there's some teams who have fewer than that. Here's the wind and the pitch, and that fastball is down and in to Gregory Maris. 1 ball and no strikes. The Bay Diggers are looking for their 7th win of the year and looking to up their record to 4-2 in Patriot League play. 1-0. Fastball is outside. 2 balls and no strikes to the Bay Diggers' second baseman. The wind and the 2-0, and that is right there. A fastball just below belt level. It's ball 2, strike 1. Maris digging in, a slightly open stance. 2-1 pitch, and he takes it for a strike. Took something off the fastball. At the knees, it's 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gregory Maris. Wind and pitch. Swung on and lifted into shallow right field. And coming on and diving, and the ball is caught out there by Carson Jones for the opening out on a sliding catch, robbing Gregory Maris of a base hit. There's 1 down. And here is Jesus Cardenas. Jesus, like many of the Bead Diggers, had an 0-for in that game against Eaton on Thursday. He was 0 for 4, but did have 2 hits on Tuesday against University. Had some quality at-bats. Wind and pitch, and he takes a fastball for a strike on the outer half just above the knees. It's 0-1. Estes Park has done a nice job of rebuilding the baseball program, considering they were really, I don't want to say in the dumps, but they had some tough years. Breaking ball is chopped foul up the third base side. But like I mentioned, they defeated Berthoud and Weld Central in Patriot League play already this year. No balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the first inning. No score from Sunset Baseball Field between the Bead Diggers and Estes Park Bobcats on an overcast Saturday afternoon. 0-2. Swung on and lined foul off the first base side. Count remains at 0-2. Yeah, the Bead Diggers, after they get through this week, if they can win all 3 games, then you've got Weld Central, Valley, Berthoud on the schedule. Breaking ball is low and away. Off the glove of the catcher pass. The count is at 1-2 to Jesus Cardenas here in the bottom of the first inning. Estes Park had a little threat in the top of the first, but Ryan Hirschfeld worked his way out of that one. The pitch swung on and fouled off. He just reached out for that pitch on the outside corner and grounded it towards the Estes Park dugout. It stays at 1-2. Yeah, the Patriot League baseball is very balanced this year, as evidenced even by the Bead Digger victories. Nothing has come easy. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and lined into the right center field gap. That ball's going to roll for a while. Carson Jones over to his right is going to flag it down shy of the fence. But Jesus Cardenas has a 1-out double in the bottom of the first inning. And that'll bring up Christian Valles, the Bead Diggers center fielder. Valles was 0 for 2 on Thursday and 1 for 4 against University, and he's a very good hitter, so he's looking to get back on track. The pitch. Fastball is high. 1 ball and no strikes. What a great at-bat by Jesus. I mean, he's only a sophomore, and yet he just stood in there and made sure he was not going to get cheated, and he got a pitch he could hit and drove it the other way for an extra base hit. 1-0. Fastball, a strike on the outer half just above the knees, and the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out, 1 on, no score in the bottom of the first inning. I'm John Beltran from Sunset Baseball Field and Brush, and the 6th Patriot League game for the Bead Diggers. Swung on and fouled on the upstairs fastball behind the screen. 1-2 to the senior Christian Valles. And the Bead Diggers are looking to break out early, which is something they've struggled with as well. Yeah, it's been a while. I think since the Adams City game in late March that the Bee Diggers have scored in the first inning. The pitch swung on, fouled off to the right. It remains at 1-2. In the 6-2 victory over Lions, the Bee Diggers didn't score till the fifth inning. Held scoreless in the first inning last week against Strasburg. Didn't score until the third against University. Scored in the fourth against Eaton. Curveball is low and away. Boy, good job of Aya staying disciplined. That thing was actually over the plate but low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jesus Cardenas at second with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Jones, check that, the pitch. Bounces in, gets away up the third base side, but Jesus stays right there on the delivery by Tully. And it's 3-2. Nice block over there by John Pass. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And every time I come to Sunset Baseball Field, this field looks better and better. The grass is greener. Man, it's a awesome facility here in Brush. And the 3-2 swung on in line towards right field. Jones is coming on to his left. He dives, and he makes another catch right off the ground. And there's 2 down as Jesus holds up at second. Well, that is 2 base hits that Jones has robbed the Bee Diggers of. That'll bring up Shea Hansen. Well, movie that I watched last night for the second time, The Final Season, based on a small-town high school in Iowa. Had their coaches say that 80% of the game is defense, and so far it's 100%. And the fastball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Without those plays, the Bee Diggers have a big bottom of the first inning. 1 ball and no strikes to Shea Hansen. The stretch and the offering. Swung on and fouled back. The count is level at 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 down. For all of your auto supply needs, stop by Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan. And no matter what your loan needs, stop by High Plains Bank at 502 Central Avenue in Wiggins. Also inquire about checking and savings accounts as well as CDs at High Plains Bank in Wiggins. Hansen from the right side. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 down and 1 on. And the pitch swung on and fouled back. Tried to jam him with a fastball, and Hansen got a piece of it. It's 1-2. You know, all these Bee Digger hitters, pretty much for the most part, wearing those gloves. I think they do so regularly anyway, but it's a good idea on a cold day like today. Pass lays down the sign. 1-2. Curveball swung over and missed, and Tully strikes out Shea Hansen. And the Bee Diggers are done in the bottom of the first inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. Let's head to the second. Brush nothing, Estes Park nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.